Welcome back everyone to OMSI 2 Berlin X10 DLC. In the last episode we did part of the Berlin X10 route. We're going to be continuing on with it, and last time we left off we picked that one passenger up, but this is the, well, I say this would be the next bus stop, it's not. We're just going to continue on. This is like another part of the map, which kind of has more trees, but it's not as restricted, and in fact it's a little bit more of a challenge because there's parked cars actually in your way and you have to physically pretty much go to the centre line to get around them. Okay, I think that's another X10 bus, if I'm not mistaken. That's another X10 bus. There'll be different variations of this route, of course, with it being a very big route. There'll be different buses going to different routes, maybe going down different roads, maybe missing some stops. Just maybe going to other areas that the other variants don't go. In terms of temperature, we're at 23 degrees, and yeah, I don't really know how to play this game without, well, this particular route in this particular bus without the red information bar, because I can't see a temperature gauge. I can't really see, well, in fact I don't know how to use the IBIS properly, because quite frankly I don't want to do that because it takes so much time and it's just easy to screw up on it. Unless I have a guide, which I might do at some point. I might use the IBIS for once instead of using the information bar for ultimate realism. But I think we're going to stop at the next stop. Yes, Joseph Joachim Platz. I think that's how you say it. I swear down that is another X10 bus. I can't see it not being an X10 bus. Okay, maybe not an X10 bus. It's not stopping there. Right then, let's pick up these people. Not, well, exactly 0 minutes late, so we're on time. Wait for everyone else to get off. There's a load of people getting off. Jeez, man. Too many people getting off. Right, we'll continue on. Right, 0.2 minutes late. I think that it'll level out when we get clear of the bus stop quite a bit. Yeah, there you go, 0.1 minutes late. That's not too bad. If you can get about a couple of tenths of a minute, so if you're under 1 minute, in my opinion, that's okay. 1 minute's not too bad, but then the game after a certain amount regards you as a late, and then it'll be like, oh, too late and all that, but I can't remember what the threshold for that is. Okay, so temp, Lister Street, mount the curb in the process. Oh yeah, because that's how you want to park a bus, isn't it? Jeez, that was terrible. I misjudged that completely. Right, let's get out of here. If I can get the parking brake, well, the station brake off. On time. We've made up about a minute since our kind of delayed start, I suppose. Not too bad. We're kind of picking up time now. We're going to head right here. Of course, with traffic lights being our worst enemy in OMSI in general, I'll just get held forever. Like, literally, if you hit a red light, it's going to be the point where you're on borderline of making it on time. That's essentially what it is. You can literally be on time and then be completely late by like a minute if you hit a red light. In some instances, well, in this case, we're probably not going to be that late. We might be delayed by a little bit though. It's not too bad, in fact. Like, oh, well, we're stuck here for ages. There we go. It's going to turn to green. We'll head right. I don't think anyone will come down our left hand side. Shouldn't do anyway. Right then, let's turn around here. All sorted. Right, so yet again we have more trees. Really not that surprised. And then there's a fuel station there, which is pretty handy. I don't know what that snowflake means on the little display there. No idea. Don't know why it's there. I keep trying to figure it out. No clue. No clue at all. Right then, I think this is our next bus stop. No, it's not. Right. So the trees have now gotten a lot bigger. And, yeah, I feel closed off again. Fantastic. That's how you want to feel, isn't it? Really closed off. I suppose it's a different thing compared to like the other maps that I've done. Well, Rheinhausen and the default game. It's a little bit different, which is nice. Nice for the change. But then it's like gets extremely dark. And also extremely restricted. It is Berlin, but I didn't know there was like this many trees in Berlin, let's be honest. I'm just going to continue on. Now the frame rate's starting to stabilise a little bit because we're out of like building central and tree central and the zoo, I suppose. Nice smooth frame rates. This is what it should be. Of course the game isn't like that. It's not optimised enough. But yeah, this is a nice part of the journey. Just relax and just find our bus stop and pull into it. But we're not going to stop these next few stops. So we're going to skip out like loads of bus stops along the way. And then, I don't even know how to say that name of the next bus stop. Really don't know. But yeah, we're going to stop there. Pick up our next set of passengers and then we'll progress onward. And then we'll hopefully find some good stuff along the way. To be fair, when I drove this route, I wasn't really surprised, to be fair. In comparison to Rheinhausen, you don't go through the same place twice, I don't believe. Because with Rheinhausen, you used to go through like this, with any route, you used to go through this like pedestrian zone, essentially. Or buses only zone, and then it was a little bit boring because that was the only thing you used to see all the time. That was like the central of, that was basically bus central. With this, it's a little bit of a different story. Right, so we're still at the traffic lights. The snowflake is still on the display. I have no idea what I'm doing. There's two people sat up the top at the front, which for some strange reason, and now there's going to be like wow, there's a load of people getting on here. Most of them are clones. Oh, I don't know how that snowflake disappeared. I really don't know. Just trying to figure out like why it disappeared. It didn't do anything. To be fair, it really didn't do anything. Well, it's not that cold, so we don't need to defrost anything. Just put the heating up a little bit in case it was that. 0.3 minutes late, not too bad. And there you go. There's the white steering wheel texture that I talked about in the last one. Yeah, cheers textures for braking. I suppose it's a little bit of a colour change from the default kind of like theme here with all black. Nice to have some white to spice things up. Or broken texture. It's obviously what you expect. So yeah, we'll have to cope with that steering wheel now of being white and broken with textures. But we're going to stop. I think this is our next bus stop ahead actually. Hopefully it is. We're 0.6 minutes early. It's a 50, well, it was a 30 zone back then. It's a 50 zone now. That's not our next bus stop. The thing is, in this kind of route, you miss out a load of bus stops, so you get ahead of every other bus. So that's why we haven't really seen any other buses on the route. In fact, is that the double-decker bus we saw back down when we like turned right at the traffic lights? Before, I went straight on. That turned left, didn't it? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if that's an X10 bus. No idea. I don't even know if it's an empty bus, to be fair. It might be an empty bus. It might be starting its route at the other end, because that's what happens. There's a bus that starts at one end, and there's a bus that starts at another end, and then that's how they do it. I suppose that might be it. I don't know. Really, really do not know. But I've just noticed the date range. It says 23rd of the 12th. That's completely wrong. That is completely wrong. It's not the 23rd of the 12th. It's probably the 23rd of the 11th. But not... It's probably longer than that, to be fair. I don't even... That date, just ignore it, essentially. That's not the date I recorded this video. No way. Well, we're going to try and figure out how to get rid of that snowflake. There's the white texture again. I'm going to try and put the heating up. You'll see me fiddling around with the heating because there's literally no other way of easily controlling the heating. There's no digital kind of display, it's all manual, which is a little bit frustrating for balancing. And there's all the textures going like wacky and braking on me. People are still stood up on the bus. I don't understand. How does this happen? Don't know what that button does. Yeah, we're just going to hold here for a little bit. And hopefully we'll be on time. There's another bus that's stopped like just opposite us. That has to be an X10 bus. That's probably the X10 stop the other way. So I'll pull out in front of this guy. And 0.1 minutes late, that's fine, we're on time. We've pulled it back, everyone, we've pulled it back. Oh well, this car's going to overtake me on the right hand lane. Wait, if this guy overtakes me, he's speeding. This guy's speeding. Yeah, he's completely speeding, look at it. Just 50, it was a 50 zone. It's breaking the speed limit. Madness, I tell you, madness. Right, we'll continue on. This is where it kind of gets a little bit interesting with lane merges and everything. I just can't wait for lane merges and all that. It's so fun. And this is our stop. No, it's not. I would have thought that was our stop. It's not. So yeah, we're going to continue. And this is kind of now where the trees disappear from the middle again. But yet there's trees on the outside. This is basically just trees everywhere. Not even joking, there's little patches in the road there. I think they're bumps, actually. Yeah, there you go. You can just about here, and you can kind of just see slightly where the bumps, like where the road's been resurfaced slightly. That's a nice addition. I like it. A kind of awkward diagonal stopping line there. Just going to continue on as soon as everyone gets off. Well, we're about 0.6 minutes early, so that's okay. We'll just pull up to the traffic lights anyway, because, you know, we're going to have to wait there anyway. Well, in fact, I can just stay here, can't I? Until the lights change and then pull out. Makes sense, doesn't it? There you go. On cue, we're about to pull out. What a timing that was. What timing. Lots of cars parked here in their own little separate kind of parking zone. I suppose it's okay. Yeah, this is where we're going to hit back into kind of like what it was at the beginning, but not as packed. The houses are kind of not close to the road. They're kind of a little bit away from the road. That's an X10 bus. Guarantee it. Yeah, I don't know where this part is. It's quite nice though to drive through. It's not really as traffic congested as what I thought it was. You'll see a lot of like, since it's Berlin, you won't really see like the stuff Rheinhausen has, because that's completely different. But we'll see a lot of buildings, we'll see a lot of cars parked, we'll see lane merges, bus lanes. I think coming up's a really nice bus stop as well. And this is where we get to see all the buses, essentially, because this is where they all pass through one another. Well, I say pass through one another, that does happen. But this is where they kind of pass through, with all the routes kind of like going through the same kind of junction, if you like. So we're going to stop behind this truck, and I think our bus stop's just up ahead. We're going to try and fiddle with the heating again. We're 1.5 minutes early, which is a bit weird because this bus stop normally gets you there super early for some reason. I think we may beat one of the other buses here, you know? I think we're that early with beating like another bus. Pretty certain of that. And then there's a stupid car, stupid Golf, by the look of it. I was pulled out in the middle and nearly crashed into someone. So we'll pull into this bus stop. This is definitely our stop. This is the N12 terminus, but this one is the stop for us. So we'll stop here, let people on. And there's no one talking. Right then, we'll just hold here then. I like how it has the digital displays on it. I may have said this, but then it shows you where all the other buses are as well. So the 101 is technically supposed to be here first, because it said, like, I think Abfahrt in. I think that means arrives in. There's like no other way of saying it. And then linear Ziel, like Linie is the line and Ziel is the terminus. That's my understanding, anyways. But yeah, we've beaten another bus here, as if we might see it. Hopefully, well, it's supposed to be here now, so it must be late. Because we're just about to leave. Well, I say about to, like 0.6, or just about like half a minute now. And then there's that guy at the front who's kind of glitched through the bar at the front. I don't know why that happens. It's very strange. I can't really open the windows from the outside. So we're going to get moving shortly, fiddling with the heating to... The temperature just keeps going up. I've tried putting the air on circulate, I've tried everything, it's not working, I have to fiddle with it. Ugh, it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, we've left on time. I think that 101 bus either must have been late, or it hasn't... Well, in fact, it's probably just like left early, which it shouldn't have. So I presume it's late. No other way of saying that. Anyway, 1.1 minutes early to our next stop, which I don't think it shouldn't be. Oh, it's this one, as if. As if. It's just this one, isn't it? What a surprise. What a surprise it has to be this one. Yeah, so since we're this early, this will be a suitable point to actually kind of like end this part. Part number 3, the final part, will be up next. Should not be too long after this one. But yeah, that's going to be it from this part of the OMSI Berlin X10 DLC. Join us next time for the final part, and we get to see a lot more of that than what we have done previously. Nice scenery coming up. Well, I say nice scenery, probably like nice town centre. But that's going to be it from me. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content, and I shall see you all next time.